Thomas, we have Kanye Udoh, and we have the Michael Rescue Most Outstanding Player, Bryson Daily. Coach, if you would start with an opening statement before we open it up to questions.
Cool. Well, it's hard to come up with an opening statement after something like that. I'm just so incredibly proud of our team. What a great night for Army football. What a great night for West Point. I think tonight just was an embodiment of what this entire season has been for this team. The determination, the effort, the toughness, the discipline, the brotherhood, the love for each other, the grittiness that these guys have displayed from day one, from game one. That's what showed up tonight. And we beat a really good football team. Congratulations to Tulane for being here and being a part of this game. We're honored to be in this game and to host the American Championship. Really an honor for us. I'm proud of our team, proud of these three guys sitting up here with me, but I'm proud of everybody in that locker room. And not just for the plays they made tonight, but for what they've done to get us positioned to be able to do what we did tonight. And it's a really good football team. And I think oftentimes we're considered a team that, just has a bunch of little old guys and not very talented. And the fact is, we got some talented guys. Are we as talented or more talented than other teams that we play? Maybe not, probably not, but that doesn't matter. We just have to have the best team on a particular day in order to win. And they have a very talented team, very well coached team. I'm just proud of our guys about the way they played tonight. They played together and just played like the best team. And so I think we got a really good football team, and it's been fun to be a part of this team with them all season long. I've coached a lot of seasons, I've coached a lot of games and a lot of teams, and there's very few times in my career where I would say I'm as proud of the team I was a part of as I am of this one tonight. So it's great to be here and be champions and to be able to celebrate that with these guys. Our senior class, what they've meant to this program, what they've meant to this team. There was just a raw determination in their spirit to get this program back to a championship level, and certainly to be able to call ourselves champions tonight is pretty fantastic. So I'm proud of these guys, and we're enjoying the victory here for a little bit before we get ready for the biggest game of the year next week.
All right, we'll open up to questions. If you raise your hands, we'll start right there in the front.
Thank you. Coach, you guys went for it on 4th and 5 instead of going for the field goal. I took it as a sign of confidence that you thought that if you didn't get it, the team would be back in there.
I think it was 4th and 3. I think we could get the first down there, or no, maybe it was on the 3-yard line. I can't remember. I knew the number. The number was 3.
4th and 3 from the 4.
4th and 3
Yeah.
from the
4
from the 4.
Yeah.
Okay.
I knew it was 3. And our go number was 3. So, we've been in that situation before, and unfortunately we didn't make it. They stopped us. And, as it turns out, you call the analytics guys later on tonight, and they'll tell you, you didn't make it, but you had them inside the 5-yard line, which is a really tough place to operate as an offense, and we got a pick. And maybe if we kick the field goal there and we kick off and they got the ball at the 25, or we weren't doing a great job of kicking off and getting stopped. We had a couple times, but they returned one out to the 35 and one out to the 40. Maybe it's 17 and they go down and score 17-7. As it turns out, we got the pick. We're able to score a touchdown, go up 21-0, and that's certainly a big score in the game.
My second question is, they talked about limiting your running game. And of course, Bryson and Kanye and Noah Short having 50 yards too. They did anything but talk about your running game and how you were able to do what you had to do, even though they were keying on it.
Greg Gasparotto, their defensive coordinator, is a great football coach. And John Sumwell, their head coach, is a great football coach. John being a longtime defensive coordinator, very well respected, and we knew that they would have their team prepared and ready. Greg comes out of the same school. Nate Woody worked with Nate, and alongside Nate, worked here with us, knows our team very well. And so we knew they'd have a great plan, and they got really good players. And just tonight, our guys just did a good job and knocked some holes open and made some seams for Kanye and for Bryson and the other guys, and it was enough. So I'm really proud of the offense. I'm proud of our whole team, but the offense, just talking about running the football, because it's hard to run the football against those guys. They're really good at stopping the run. To be able to do that tonight is, it's just gives us a tremendous sense of pride.
Thank you, Coach.
We'll go over here, right to
Coach Monken, congratulations on the win. You guys just beat a really, really good football team, 35-14. And you've talked about it a little bit already. Would you say that's the most complete game the team's played to this point this year?
I don't know. It was pretty good. Pretty complete game. I don't know what you guys think. You think that was the most complete game we played? You guys were in there fighting and playing. And special teams came up with a big play. Heck, I didn't know until we were standing out there in the lobby. They said Granati's the one that caused the fumble. How about that for a kicker? I mean, that tells you about our team. That tells you about our team. It's just that effort and that desperation to win. So we've played some good football games this year. We've played some complete football games. That was as good as we've played against a really good team, and saved us for the right time, that's for sure.
Bryson, the mob has been awesome all year, but tonight they just absolutely dominated a really good defensive front, as Coach Monken was just talking about. Talk a little bit about the game those guys played, and a couple of your touchdown runs, like we've seen previously this season, you didn't get touched till you were already across the goal line. So talk about the mob a little bit.
Yeah, I think it was their best game of the season. They played incredible. They came into it with an attitude, knowing, hearing all week that this defense that we're playing against, would know our offense and they know how to play us. And those guys took that to heart and they played really well. That line of scrimmage was getting moved, 2 to 3 yards, and then by the fourth quarter, 4 to 5 yards. They played awesome, just like they have all year, but they really stepped it up today when we needed it.
And my final question, it's about Kanye, but I know how unselfish you are, so I'm going to ask Bryson and Andon instead. Kanye was the second team all-conference running back. And there was a guy named Mekhi Hughes who was the first team all-conference running back. And Kanye had 20 carries for 158 yards. Mekhi had 14 carries for 66 yards. For both of you, because you had something to do with stopping the Tulane running back, and you and the offense had something to do with Kanye getting all those yards. Was there I know you guys don't really focus on this stuff. I know your attitudes, and I know why you want to win. It's for all the right reasons. Any little added motivation around any of that?
I didn't hear Kanye talk about it at all when the all conference came out. Guys really weren't talking about it, but we're all competitors. We see things and we hear things, and Kanye's a competitor. You've seen it all year, and it showed today. And I always think Kanye's the best running back on the field when I'm playing with him, and he really showed it today. And he's a really, really good player, and he made a lot of good plays today when we needed it. And I always go to bat for Kanye because he's awesome. So.
And then how about from a defensive perspective?
Yeah, just to add off that, credit to him. He's a great running back. But I think the D-line really won us the game. Defensively, at least, they're handling their business up front. We were able to just get them down, stop them pretty short. So.
We'll go right here.
And then more on the defensive line, a little banged up, and some guys had to step up today, like Cody Weineker had to step up. Can you talk about, like, specifically maybe their efforts and the way they helped you guys out? You were holding them to 14 points.
Yeah, they did great. Guys like Cody, Matt, Gemma, dudes that really haven't played much all season, but, biggest game of the year, they stepped up when we really needed it. Just fitting the right gaps. It allowed us, me and Caleb, all the linebackers to do our thing. So credit to them. They got great pass rush as well. Forced a few bad throws, so credit to them.
Kanye, what did that 72-yard run feel like for you, and how much momentum do you think it gave your offense?
It was huge. Like earlier in the game, being able to break loose and fit off the hole that the mile created for me and just have a big play.
One more for Coach Monken real quick. Coach, you said during the award ceremony that the Downtown Athletic Club should extend an invitation to Bryson for New York. Around the same time as Army Navy. Can you guys get that done if they do extend the invitation out there?
I don't have any idea, but I don't know that there's anybody in the country that would balk at the idea of the starting quarterback of the Army Black Knights, who's rushed for 100 yards in a game. How many in a row now? 10 games in a row? On an 11-1 team that just won the conference championship. Why doesn't that guy belong down there? There's a lot of great football players in the country, but there's not one that means more to his team than that guy sitting right down there. And so it's the MVP of college football. Who's most valuable to their team? I'd argue there's not a guy in America more valuable to their team than Bryson Daily. So I think he should be down there. And I don't have a vote in it, and they're not going to listen to me, but, he belongs down there. And I know that the college football world would be thrilled to see that. And how many times in history is there going to be an academy player that legitimately could go down there and everybody feels like that guy belongs? You know what? This is that time in history. That guy belongs down there. That's what I think.
We'll go to Ken in the front row.
Yeah, Bryson, congratulations, 4 touchdowns today and 126 yards rushing. I thought one play that really stood out was in the third quarter, 4th and 5. You got a completion. You did that play, that little sideline pass to Casey Reynolds that got you the first down, kept the drive moving. Tell us about it.
Yeah, 4th and 5. Shout out to Coach Worley and Coach Monken just for trusting us as an offense to get that first down when we really needed it. They've trusted us all year with that. And, that play was drawn up for Casey. And, he's a really good receiver. You trust your playmakers right there to make big plays. We only threw the ball twice today, but we have so much trust in Casey and his ability to get open that, we were able to get him the ball, and he was wide open because he ran such a good route. So he's a really good receiver, doesn't get utilized, as much in this offense, but he's a really, really good player, and we trust him.
And then just to ask you about your interception, it was 14-0. The offense had just gotten stopped, and so you got the ball back to your offense, and then they went back to work to make it 21-0. Tell us about that play. How did it feel?
It's surreal, being able to make a play. I'm really blessed to be in the right place at the right time, but once again, credit to the D-line. They had a great rush, forced the quarterback to get the ball out of his hands, and I just happened to be in the right spot. So.
Just ask you, again in the third quarter, you get a stop on 4th and 8. Tulane took a penalty, but you were able to stop him on that 4th and 8, and then the offense went back to work to make it 35-7.
It's so great, being able to get a stop and knowing the offense is going to do their thing, take half a quarter or a quarter off the clock. It's really comforting. So it's really complimentary football. We do our thing. We know the offense is going to do their thing.
Congratulations.
Sir, thank you.
Go back over here.
Hey, Kanye. So on the 72-yard run, just talk us through that play. What did you see in terms of holes in the offensive line, and kind of just talk through the play for us, if you would.
First off, I should have scored. Let the guy get my ankle at the end there, but just hit it zone side. Was one-on-one with the corner, was able to make him miss, like high step him, then just off to the races. Lost the race.
Any other questions? Go back to Ken.
I was gonna ask Coach Monken, this team's 11-1 conference title. Where did you see this team start to take off, start to gel, show it the potential that it has?
The first weekend in November last year, that's when it started. There's a determination in this team. We were 2-6. A lot of people counted us out. And this team just had a determination that we weren't done. We were gonna keep fighting. And so that team last year was well led. It's a good senior class, good captains, and this team willed themselves to a 4-game stretch at the end of the Commander-in-Chief's trophy, and it just was born from there. And this senior class was determined that it wasn't gonna be 6-6 again. We were gonna find a way to scratch and claw and fight and find a way to be a winner. So Coach Saturnio said maybe toward the end of the summer, before preseason camp, he said, Coach, I think this can be a special team. And it's just the attitude of our guys, how they worked, their professionalism, their approach to everything that we were doing. And we had enough veteran guys that had played, and we felt like we had a chance to have a good team. There's 3 good players sitting up here with me right now. There's 5 offensive linemen down there in the locker room that have started every game, and it's the best offensive line of any team I've ever been a part of, collectively from one end to the other. There's been some really great players here, other places I've coached, but we never had 5 and a group as good as this one. So certainly for our offense, that's where it starts. I got Kanye to my right, Bryson down here to my left. Those are 2 really good football players. But if we didn't have an offensive line, they wouldn't be sitting up here right now. And so it starts there. And I think that I've always thought that the offensive line kind of sets the tone for the entire team. If they're tough and they're rugged and they do their job, then everybody else does it too. And I want the offensive line to play so well and to be so tough and be so admired that everybody on the team wishes they could play offensive line. And that's about what these guys are. They're like that. I think everybody wants to be it. They want to be that tough, and they want to be that rugged, and they want to be that efficient. And that's, we got a lot of guys on our team making good plays, and it's not just them, but I think it starts there.
Thank you, Coach.
We'll do 1 or 2 more. Jackson, back.
Bryson, just last game at Michael Stadium, the core rushing the field, the trophy ceremony. Can you take a second just to soak that all in tonight?
Yeah, it was incredible. That was the whole message last week for our senior night. We didn't get to have the core for our senior night, and the whole message was, hey, win this game. Last week to get to play again in front of the core, and it was incredible. It was so blessed to have that opportunity to play in front of them again, play in front of all our fans that came out in the area. They came out in the cold and they supported, and it was awesome. And we're very blessed to have the core and just our fan base in general.
We'll do the last one right here in the front.
Coach, I gotta ask a question. You have any message for the college football committee, the playoff committee?
Here we go. I'll go back to my comment about Bryson Daily. At this moment, I think there's 8 teams in the country that have won 11 games. At this moment, 8. All of the others have played 12 regular season games. And one of them tonight played a conference championship as well. This team played 11 regular season games. everybody they put in front of us except for the number 4 team in the country. And they beat the pants off us, I get it. They beat the pants off us. But we beat everybody else. Just beat another bowl team tonight. And who in college football, who around America wouldn't be excited to see the Army Black Knights in the playoff? I think everybody would. It's a unique, different brand of football. And everybody in America can cheer for their home state team and their alma mater and still cheer for Army. And I think there would be a lot of excitement to have this team in the playoff. Now, again, I don't make that decision. There's a committee that's charged with doing that. But I think this team could compete as well as any group of 5 team in the country in the playoff. And I don't know. I don't know what would happen when we get in there. We'd only be able to find out if we win. But to have a team like this that's won as many games as we have, performing like we have, I would love for the college playoff committee college football playoff committee to give us some consideration. Certainly Boise State's got a great team, and you know, they've kind of been up there in the ranks and all that. So I get it, but I'd love to see this team get a crack at it, and the way they're playing and the determination that they play with, the confidence they play with. We give somebody some hell, I know that.
I'll do one quick one over here.
Oh, yes. Who are you gonna ask the question to? That's the key. Who you wanna ask?
Coach Monken.
That's, yeah, you go with the easy guy, don't you?
What do you think your team could have improved heading into the Navy game?
What do we need to improve on? Well, I have to look at some film tonight, but we had a couple of times in the open field where we had got the ball on the perimeter, and we're supposed to block guys out there on the perimeter, and we didn't do a great job all the time of sustaining those blocks. We probably left some yards out there with those blocks, and then defensively, we had a chance to make some plays in the open field with some tackles. The first touchdown of the game at the end of the second quarter was one where we had a big missed tackle, and this certainly got to improve. We got to make those plays on the perimeter for sure. So that's at least one area that we can improve on. I'm sure when I look at the film here in about 30 minutes, I'll find 115 other things. Good question.